On the morning of March 7, 2026, a champagne bottle shattered against a steel hull in a San Diego shipyard. The crowd applauded. The Navy band played. And with that single swing, one of the most successful shipbuilding programs in modern American naval history came to an end. The ship is the USNS Hector A. Cafferata Jr. It is 784 feet long, displaces 90,000 tons, and carries a 52,000 square foot flight deck. It is the 6th Expeditionary Sea Base the Navy has ever built, and it is the last one. Not the last one this year, not the last one this decade. The last one, period. The program is closed, which raises a question worth $1.6 billion. Why would the Navy stop building the cheapest, most flexible warship it owns? The answer starts with what this ship actually is. Strip away the gray paint, and the Cafferata is an Alaska-class oil tanker, a commercial hull design that General Dynamics NASSCO has been building in San Diego for decades. Back in 2011, the Navy faced a math problem it could not solve with traditional warships. It needed floating bases in places where America had no ports, no runways, and no guarantees. The traditional answer, a San Antonio-class amphibious ship, cost roughly $2 billion per hull. So the Navy took a different path. It bought the tanker design, gutted the oil tanks, and installed a flight deck, a hangar, command centers, armories, and berthing for hundreds of personnel. The 2019 contract that funded the final 3 ships tells the story in one number, up to $1.63 billion, not per ship, for all 3 combined. 3 floating bases for less than the price of one traditional amphibious warship. The Cafferata follows 5 sisters into service. The USS Lewis B. Puller went first and made history in August 2017 when it became the first American warship ever commissioned outside United States waters at a pier in Bahrain. It has anchored the 5th Fleet ever since. The USS Herschel Woody Williams patrols the Mediterranean and the coast of Africa. The USS Miguel Keith operates in the Pacific. The USS John L. Canley was delivered on March 1, 2023, and the USNS Robert E. Simonek followed. Now the Cafferata completes the set, with delivery to the fleet scheduled for later in 2026 once sea trials are finished. Every one of these ships works the same way, and it is unlike anything else in the Navy. The flight deck on top spans 52,000 square feet, with landing spots built for the heaviest rotary aircraft in the inventory: MH-53 heavy-lift helicopters, MH-60 Seahawks, and MV-22 Ospreys. One level down sits the mission deck, roughly 65,000 square feet of open, reconfigurable space. The Navy designed it to accept standardized mission modules, containerized command centers, mine hunting equipment, drone control stations, and boat storage. Cranes launch rigid hull inflatable boats and mine-sweeping sleds directly into the water. Load one set of containers and the ship becomes a mine warfare headquarters. Swap them and it becomes a staging base for special operations forces. The Cafferata's assigned specialty is exactly that pairing: airborne mine countermeasures and special operations support, the 2 missions the class was born for. Then there is the crew arrangement, which may be the strangest thing aboard. The ship runs on a hybrid model. Civilian mariners from Military Sealift Command handle navigation, engineering, and maintenance, while a Navy military detachment runs combat operations, aviation, and security, with berthing for up to 250 embarked personnel on top of that. And the ship's legal identity can change with its mission. It enters service as USNS Hector A. Cafferata Jr., a non-commissioned naval ship, but the class was engineered so that it can be converted to a commissioned USS warship if the situation demands it, exactly what the Navy did with the 𝗡𝘃𝗆 in 2017. One hull, two identities. How many warships can legally transform themselves depending on the fight? That flexibility is not theoretical. The 𝗡𝘃𝗆 has spent nearly 9 years proving what this class can do. In April 2020, 11 Iranian Revolutionary Guard patrol boats swarmed it in the Persian Gulf, closing to within 50 yards. The 𝗡𝘃𝗆 held position until they backed off. In December 2022, its boarding team seized more than 1 million rounds of ammunition from a smuggling vessel in the Gulf of Oman, weapons bound for the Houthis in Yemen. In January 2024, Navy SEALs launched from its deck in the dark of the Arabian Sea to intercept Iranian missile components. 1 converted tanker, 3 headline operations, and that is only the missions the Navy chose to make public. If a channel that breaks down ships like this one is worth following, the subscribe button handles that in one click, because the next question is the one the Navy has never fully answered. Why stop at 6? The record shows a platform that works. The price shows a bargain. And yet when the Cafferata slid into San Diego Bay, no 7th hull was waiting on the ways behind it. The 2019 contract contained the answer all along. It funded ships 6 and 7, with a single option for an 8th hull. The Navy exercised that option in August 2022, and that was the end of the line. No follow-on order ever came. Part of the reason is arithmetic. 6 ships spread across the Middle East, Africa, the Pacific, and the Americas cover the regions where the Navy needs persistent presence without a port. Each one was designed for roughly 4 decades of service, which means the class will still be operating into the 2060s. The fleet the Navy wanted is now the fleet the Navy has. But there is a deeper shift underneath. The ESB was built for an era of counter-piracy patrols, mine clearance, and small boat threats, missions where a slow, unarmored giant could sit safely offshore for months. The Navy's attention has moved toward a potential fight in the Pacific, where a 90,000-ton converted tanker making 15 knots presents a very different risk calculation. The shipbuilding budget followed that attention toward submarines, destroyers, and unmanned vessels. The ESB did not fail. The world it was built for simply stopped being the Navy's biggest problem. What happens to a perfect tool when the job description changes? Which makes the name on this last hull worth pausing on. Private First Class Hector A. Cafferata Jr. was a Marine reservist at the Chosin Reservoir in November 1950, when a regimental-strength Chinese force hit his position at night. Fighting in his socks in sub-zero cold, he held the line almost alone, and when a live grenade landed among wounded Marines, he grabbed it and hurled it away as it exploded, taking severe wounds to his hand and arm. President Harry Truman presented him the Medal of Honor in 1952. His daughter and granddaughter swung the champagne bottle in San Diego. The Navy ends this program the way it began it, by naming a quiet, unglamorous workhorse after someone who did the hard job without an audience. And that is the fitting epitaph for the whole class. The Expeditionary Sea Base never launched a fighter jet. It never fired a missile in a fleet battle. It sat in the world's most dangerous waters, year after year, doing the missions that never trend, clearing mines, staging raids, intercepting weapons, holding the line. 6 hulls, built for a fraction of what the famous ships cost, delivering presence the famous ships could not afford to provide. USNS Hector, a Cafferata Jr. will sail for 40 years as the final proof of a simple idea, that sometimes the smartest warship in the fleet starts life as an oil tanker. The Navy will build bigger ships. It will build faster ships. It will never build another one of these.